In this video, I'm going to show you how to write an outline for your self-published book. What's up everyone? Ollie here from El-Gorr.com, coming at you from beautiful Bangkok on this sunny Saturday afternoon. And in this video, we're going to show book outlines because this is the one I've been asked for the most. And some of you have been asking for it for about 6 months and I haven't got around to it. But we're going to do it today. So first things first, why do you need an outline for your book? Why do you need a good outline? So before you send the book to a writing company, you need to do an outline. And you need to do an outline because the better your outline, the better the book you will receive. Pretty simple. And the reason for this is that there's less room for interpretation. If you've got a book on, say, the keto diet, and you say to the writer, I want a 15,000 word book about the keto diet, you're going to get back pretty much a rewritten Wikipedia article on what the keto diet is and how it works. It's not going to do much for your readers. You're going to get a lot of negative reviews, and that's going to cause your book to stop selling very, very quickly. By providing a good outline, a very specific outline, one that shows you've really researched the people in this market and understood their pain points and therefore transferred into a book the solution to their problems. If you do that, then your book is going to get a lot of positive reviews. It's going to sell for a very long time. It's going to make you a lot of money. And this doesn't actually have to take you that long. Most of the time it's 10, 15, 20 minutes more work up front. But that 20 minutes more work up front might be the difference between a book that makes $1,000 and a book that makes $10,000 over the course of its life. So it's a significant jump once you learn how to write these good outlines. So what do you include in a book outline? So 2 basic steps, the chapters or the book sections, and then the style of writing that you want. You need to include every single individual section plus the chapter titles, if you want to do that. I personally write the chapter titles afterwards. Include the length of each chapter. That's important because otherwise certain parts will be too long and certain parts will be too short. For example, if your introduction is 3,000 words in a 12,000 word book, then that's probably 2,000 words too long. And that's 2,000 words that could have been used elsewhere in the book that now aren't going to be used, and therefore important content will be left out. Once again, that causes negative reviews. Write what you want included in the book, all the information possible. I'm going to show you later on in the video what I've done for a book outline. Also what you don't want included, because there's certain things that you want to be left out, because if you let the writer up to their own devices, they'll pad the book with filler, and you don't want that. Style, so tone of voice, formal or informal. There's no right answer here. Just think about your audience. If you're writing to an older audience and it's a very serious book topic, you should probably be more informal. If you're writing to a younger audience or it's a more fun, casual book topic, you can use informal language. Just think about how these people talk and then write in that style. And also the language that you use. If you want certain words used, I'm going to show you an example of that later. But you should include that as well. So now we're going to go on to an actual book outline that I've written. And this one is a book about rheumatoid arthritis. And the theme of this book was how you can remedy your rheumatoid arthritis using natural food and supplements. So start with the introduction. Obviously, it's the first part. I said 750 words max because I didn't want that much time spent on this section. Thought it could be better used elsewhere in the book. First thing I said is do not use the generic "thank you for downloading this book" introduction, because that sucks and it immediately turns readers off. And if people are clicking on that look inside button on Amazon, then they're probably going to see a book that says "thank you for downloading this book about the rheumatoid." They're not going to buy it. So I want a personalized introduction that's a lot more empathetic to the reader. So I said, explain how it can be scary to be diagnosed with rheumatoid arthritis. That's RA from now on, so I'm going to be saying that just to save some breath. And how it's unfairly considered a death sentence for living a healthy, happy life, but that's not the case. This is from my research beforehand. I saw that this was a problem that people had, So I wanted to empathize with them. Because if you can empathize with your audience, they will buy into what you're saying and they will listen to you a lot more. And explain why it's not a death sentence. Use a couple of examples of people diagnosed with RA living a great life. I wanted real life case studies that you can find on the internet, so I specified that. I wanted 300 words on what is inflammation, just the basic how-to stuff, how inflammation in RA is different from regular inflammation, and discuss how having an understanding of the disease process can help you live with it better. This is basic stuff, pretty simple, but it just demonstrates your authority and credibility on the subject before you get into the more advanced and more niche matter. Next chapter, dealing with diagnosis. Explain that it's easy to overreact, but it's not the end of the world. Discuss that there will be emotional ups and downs. Not all patients present the same symptoms. How to explain RA to others. These are all problems that I found from my research. If you don't do your research, you won't find any of this, and your book's going to be terrible. How different RA medications work. That's the next section, because a lot of times people get given these medications, but they're not explained why they work or how they work. So I just wanted a bit on that. These are the big ones: prednisone, methotrexate, and leflunomide. Hope I pronounced that right. And present the idea there's an alternative to these medications, because that's the general theme of the book. And obviously I didn't want to just introduce that straight away. Have to talk about the conventional ones first. Section 3, the side effects of these medications. You see the theme of the book now. Conventional medications have side effects, and I divided that into different body parts. So side effects for your bladder, general fatigue, side effects for your bowel movements, the mental side effects, stuff like mood swings, brain fog, anxiety and depression, nausea, sex drive and hormones, and men and women are different. They have different sex hormones, so split that into two, and also some stuff for osteoporosis. Section 4, now we're getting really into the meat of the book. Arthritis and food. How poor eating can contribute to your arthritis and joint pains. The preface for this section is that I wanted research information on RA, especially with epigenetics. Epigenetics is a combination of genetics and environment, so lifestyle choices. And I'll discuss how general dietary changes you can make to alleviate your rheumatoid arthritis. So the whole point of this section is you've been eating this and that's bad, so stop doing that and eat this instead. So I've included different dietary things that people can do to make their RA get better. If you don't include this, then your writer will be left to their own creativity and they might miss important things. Stuff like dairy, paleo, collagen, general weight loss. If you lose weight, you'll have less pressure on your joints and your RA will be better. Eat more probiotics, avoid gluten, adopt a Mediterranean diet. I also have certain anti-inflammatory herbs and how to incorporate them into your diet. Turmeric, cayenne, ginger, these are all ones I found out in the research phase. Do your research, do your research. Now you have a meal plan. This is a big part of the book and a very important section. So I specified that I wanted a 14-day meal plan. I specified that I wanted 30 quick 5-ingredient recipes, because otherwise this section could have been super long and actually been most of the book, and I didn't want that. Also wanted 10 vegetarian and 10 vegan recipes. Specified here, must have quick recipes you can make first thing in the morning when you are in pain. People with RA, they wake up in pain a lot, and therefore they need to have something they can make quickly. Found this out in the research phase. I said to the writer, you have to include this. Another thing I found out in the research phase, people hate unusual ingredients that they can't find. So I specified no unusual ingredients in any of the recipes. And all recipes must have calorie and macronutrient information. If you've ever released a diet or a cookbook, you will see 1-star reviews on other books are usually the calorie information was incorrect, the macronutrient information was incorrect. So I specified that this book had to have that. These are two massive reasons why diet books get 1-star reviews, because the ingredients are too hard to find or the calorie information isn't there or is wrong. Next section, anti-inflammatory supplements, how to use different natural supplements to alleviate your RA symptoms. Thought this would be useful for the book. These are just some supplements I found, so I wanted definitions for each of them, plus the appropriate dosages for each. because what use is it knowing what supplements to take if you don't know how much to take of them? Next section, exercise. Basic exercises you can do at home with no equipment. This is more specific than just saying I want a section about exercise, especially wrist and hand exercises, because once again, through research, I found out that most of the pain in rheumatoid arthritis sufferers is in your wrists and hands. And obviously, you do a lot with your wrists and hands all day long, so it's going to be important to know how to undo that. No equipment. These people are often elderly and they live at home without any gym equipment and they can't get to a gym. So once again, just more specific, getting a book that is right for the customer. Plus also quick pain relief strategies. And then I included a lifestyle section as well. What lifestyle choices can you make to make your RA better? Stuff like energy management, meditation, massage, acupuncture, how to seek out RA support groups in your local area, just some additional helpful information that shows the reader that you have their best interests at heart, how to sleep better, preventative first aid tips, tips for finding a new RA doctor if you don't like your current one. Not essential for the core message of the book, but it is useful to have in there. Then in the conclusion, I didn't want a cut and dry, boring conclusion. I wanted one with an uplifting message, because that was the whole theme of the book, like I said at the start of this video. So stuff like how you can still live life to the fullest, you're stronger than you think, a bad day doesn't mean a bad life. The overall tone should not be a cut and dry medical book, more of an inspiring story of how you can live a fulfilling life with RA. I wanted to do this because I saw in some of the other books that they had negative reviews because it was just a boring book to read. So I wanted this one to be more fun. I've had some things that I did not want included. Do not use the term suffering with RA or RA sufferer anywhere in the book. Use something less depressing. Once again, I wanted this to be inspiring and empathetic, not a doom and gloom book. I wanted a specific font size just because it's easier for the manager to format. And do not use embedded tables because I didn't want any formatting issues. If you're ever doing a medical book, this is something you should always have included, and that's you should cite all the sources that your writer uses, because people don't like it when you don't, because they just think you've made all the information up. And once again, this should not be included in the word count because it just shouldn't. And I've also said I do not need a disclaimer or a book description because that gives me 1,000 words of extra content. Obviously, if you do want a book description in the book, you shouldn't. But if you do, then just don't include this. Same thing with a disclaimer. If you do need a disclaimer, don't write this. And that's how I outline a book. Takes about 10-15 minutes more, but it's so worth it. And when you've done that, when you've outlined your book, that should say outline, not written. I'll write that right now. When you've outlined your book, send it to the best writing company on the planet, theurbanwriters.com. And if you want 5% off, you can use the code OLLIE. That's my name. You'll get 5% off. So if you like this video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe, etc. Thanks for watching. Have a wonderful day.